Hello guys, welcome to this video on how to spot some differences between the real versus the fake Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Before we continue, I do want to mention there are some videos out there already, some great videos, and I'll post a link of this channel. Hopefully I don't pronounce your channel wrong, but it's Aleg or Aleg Reviews. He has some great details on the boxes of the serial numbers. Go watch his videos first, please, and he'll cover a lot of stuff. I'm just covering some of the stuff that I don't see being mentioned on his video, but I do believe it is equally important, so I'll go over that. On the boxes, this is a real box. I don't have a knockoff in front of me, but from the videos and pictures that I've seen on eBay of knockoffs, I don't have anything if you want against buying a knockoff, as long as you know you're buying a knockoff. It's when they advertise it as original that bothers me. But anyway, moving on. On the box, the real box, this is an actual sticker that peels off. On the knockoff, I do believe this whole white sticker is printed on the box like it is right here. This is a print. This isn't a sticker. Again, I'm not sure if that's true or not. If you guys can have a knockoff, you can please comment and let me know on that. But this sticker peels off, and it's noted, important detail here, it's rounded on the edges. Versus the knockoffs, whether it's printed or a sticker, it's gonna have sharp edges. Also, I'm sure this was already covered, but the real ones will end with 0758. Here's another thing I picked up was the HDMI logo. On the real boxes, it's gonna be white colored. On the fake ones, it's gonna be this gray color being used right here on the lettering, all this. Again, white on the real one, gray on the fake. That's what I can tell as far as the box goes. Moving on to the console itself. This real one, Nintendo, is consistent with the color. What I mean by that, the logo, this right here, this ejection button, it's not a real button, but this right here and right here are all the same color. They're consistent with that. Now, moving on to the knockoff, you can see darker logo than the ejection button right here. The buttons are off. Just not consistent. The lettering, if you pay attention, is never centered on the knockoffs. Surprisingly, kind of like eject and the power kind of are, but this one's not centered, it's slanted. The reset button, the reset logo is off. It's just bad quality. Nintendo's is always centered nicely. It just pops out. Now, onto the stickers on the back. Nintendo does an amazing job of these stickers. The font is nice, the rounded edges versus the knockoffs. It's always going to be some crappy sticker. Can even tell it's cut wrong, pointy edges. Obviously, the big giveaway is the CU. Knockoffs, a lot of them have the CU. Some of them now have the SU, so be careful with that. Now, moving on to the front. On the real console, this little tab right here is going to have the same texture that the console does all over it. Versus the knockoff, we have a smooth texture versus the kind of like the rough on the console. Just not the same texture. On this particular clone, they did include the slits on the controller part, but on my particular one, we only have a dot here, dot here. On the real ones, we have the one dot right here and two dots right here. Some of the clones will have that, so be careful. But here's what the dead giveaway is on those tabs. On the clone, you won't see any lettering, any numbers on there. On the real one, and hopefully I can focus. Let's see, hold on. They have letters and numbers inside the tab. That's the dead giveaway. Also, on the real one, the Nintendo quality is amazing. I love this detail. On the controller port right here, it's receded in. There's nothing. You run your finger over it, nothing's gonna catch. It's nicely finished. You see nothing popping out. On the clones, you're gonna find that they leave these little, they're not receded all the way in. These have, if you run your finger over it, it's gonna catch. It's just poor quality, the way they manufacture the clones. You know, they don't care. But see, that just sticks out. Again, on the nicely receded in, perfectly finished. That's all I can tell on the consoles. Moving on to the controllers itself. Again, the colors are matching on the D-pad and the buttons. Right here, matching. The D-pad and the buttons do not match, different colors. The knockoff is going to have a shiny cord. I'm sure that's already been mentioned. Also on the videos, I've seen that they mentioned that this tab is black. On the real one, we have gray. I'm going to compare the two right here. Gray being the original one. But here's also the giveaway. Nintendo is notorious for using tri-wing tip or tri-wing screws, just like so. The knockoffs won't use them. Well, I shouldn't say they don't use them. They do use them, but you know, more than likely they're gonna have regular screws on there. They still have the Nintendo logo, so that might throw you off. But if it's gray and it has a tri-wing screws, you're more likely to know you have a original stuff. So yeah, again, go watch Aleg's reviews. His videos explain a lot that weren't covered on this one. I'm just going over the details that I've seen. I'm sure there's a lot more, but if you find this helpful and like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.